Fashion's biggest night. The Met Gala will draw artists, celebrities, and newsmakers from around the world on Monday night. And returning this year is one of India's most celebrated designers, Manish Malhotra. He's no stranger to the American red carpet. Malhotra's celebrity clients include Rihanna, J-Lo, Beyoncé, and the Kardashians. But he got his start in fashion through film, working as a costume designer in Bollywood. Chanel Call has more on this all. Chanel, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So for those of us who grew up watching Indian films, Manish Malhotra's designs define characters and ultimately put Indian fashion on the world stage. So we traveled to Mumbai, India, for Malhotra's first sit-down interview with an American network to find out how he got here. At this atelier in Mumbai, India, rows of tailors and embroiderers are hard at work, cutting fabric and sewing thousands of beads and sequins onto a single dress by hand. The final product, showstoppers like these.
So this was actually Vogue India. They did a cover.
The man behind the label,
I was so excited to Zayn Malik to wear a sherwani.
One of India's most famous fashion designers, Manish Malhotra.
The actual me is this, at a show, worried.
But steps away from his swanky Bandra office is where he grew up.
And there are lots of cinemas right around here. And I every morning I think of, oh my God, I was in these theaters years ago.
Back then, his mother was a homemaker and his father ran an air conditioning company.
So summer holidays was actually staying in Mumbai because we couldn't travel because that was his peak time, right, for his business. So I watched movie after movie and my mother encouraged it because she felt that's the only thing I absolutely love. So that's when I think the realization was about design and the attraction as well.
So it actually came from watching movies and you fell in love with the fashion there.
Yeah, like if I can tell my mother at the age of 7 or 6 that, listen, the border doesn't match the sari, or telling the teacher that your shoes are not matching. But I didn't know the term designer. It didn't exist.
So Malhotra found another way to get into the business.
I started modeling and boutiques and all of that. It just started coming, the whole design segment. And I'm talking about 87, 88. And that's when I joined a boutique. And there I used to practice, and there I used to sketch and sketch and sketch, and there I used to dress the mannequin, pin it. So it's all very self-taught, observed, and then practiced.
So you didn't have any formal training?
No formal training at all.
Despite that, by the 90s, Malhotra figured out how to make his mark.
There's no consistency in the look or makeup. Why don't I get that? I'll make a name. I didn't think of that word styling, but actually that's what I was introducing.
But those early days on set weren't easy.
The first 2 years was pathetic. It was like the producers were like, who's this guy? And like I was like, that 23-year-old asking for, what's the character? What does she do? And they were like, she just looks glamorous and just sexy and don't ask too many questions kind of thing, right?
5 years in, he earned his place.
I introduced personality into the characters.
Arey, style.
Becoming an award-winning costume designer for the blockbuster film Rangila. Malhotra says he went on to design for over 800 Bollywood films, creating iconic moments for leading ladies like Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and inspiring trends for everyday women.
The film Jab We Met, which introduced like a t-shirt and a salwar, or a kurti and a denim jacket, which today, all over India, is the norm of wearing clothes.
I'm just thinking of so many other characters. Did you know Boo was gonna be a big moment?
Ooh, you're looking just wow! Whatever.
You can never design a moment. You can never design iconic. You can have an intuition, but you definitely cannot plan it. It just also happened.
But his collection of accolades suggests otherwise.
When did you realize that I want to do more than films? I want to now create a Manish Malhotra brand.
Because I started getting a lot of calls at home that do you do wedding clothes? And I was like, I don't do wedding clothes. I do wedding clothes only in the movies.
That transition was yet another test.
I think the mainstream fashion looked at me like, oh, you're an outsider because you're from the movies. But I think it took time. I learned that, oh, these are not costumes, these are real clothes.
Real clothes that translated his on-screen glam into a global retailer.
Who was the first American celebrity that you dressed?
We started dressing up a lot of international models, and J-Lo wore a piece of jewelry, Rihanna wore a piece of jewelry, and I think that's how it all started.
Then last year, Malhotra dressed Kim and Khloe Kardashian at the billionaire Ambani wedding. But Malhotra recognizes the value of versatility.
If you want your work of your artisans to go all over the world, it cannot always be Indian clothes.
He designed this dress for Jennifer Lopez's 55th birthday and created these chaps for Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter tour. But his biggest moment in American fashion happened last year.
It was made for Coco Jones. I wanted a vintage vibe.
Designing 3 looks for the Met Gala, including his own.
I wanted this to become with time something that is our, like our heirloom piece. More than 100 craftspeople worked on it.
Was there one moment where you really thought to yourself, I can't believe this is happening right now?
I don't think I've had the time to think that. I really haven't.
Now, at 58, with 35 years of film and fashion behind him, Malhotra has no plans of slowing down.
You don't like to sleep, do you?
No, I don't think so. I actually sleep only 5 hours to 6 hours. I'm an early morning person.
I wonder when you think about your legacy, what you want people to remember and think when they think of Manish Malhotra.
I think when they think of Manish Malhotra, the brand, they would think of glamour, which is very rooted, made in India. When they think of Manish Malhotra, the designer, they think of cinema. They think of making of a star.
And this Monday, Manish will be back on the Met Gala red carpet. He's also dressing a few other celebrities as well. We'll have to wait and find out who that will be. The theme, of course, this year is costume art, and the dress code is fashion is art. And really, that couldn't be more aligned with who he is and what he really creates.
So he's probably dressing a couple of people, is my guess.
They can't say who, so we'll have to see. You can say hi to him on the red carpet.
I will.
Amazing.